my fellow friends of the stars. I will be reading from The Many Moons Planner by Sarah Faith Gottsteiner. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. Right. Monday the 27th at 1:16 a.m. There'll be a full moon in Gemini. This article was written by Erica Feldman. I will be reading it. All right. From failure to fireworks, illumination under a Gemini full moon. This bright and powerful Gemini full moon arrives at the end of Sagittarius season to help us illuminate our true path. It's not the end of Sagittarius season, it was just the end of Scorpio season, so I'm gonna put a little mark beside that. It's not at the end, it's at the beginning of Sagittarius season to help us illuminate our true path. First, we must clear to create space. Since we are in a somber time of the year, let's make it a party. Gemini's power is the airy ability to hold two opposing ideas in neutrality, two sides of the same coin, opposites by perspective only, while fiery Sagittarius season gives our chariot year one last burst of flame to roll through. Together ruled by the elements of air and fire, this full moon supports an exercise of shifting frameworks, flipping the script, and making explosions in the sky. I'm picturing twins named Success and Failure riding together on a fiery chariot through the night, having the best time on a date with destiny, with the full moon glowing gloriously above them. A dear friend and Gemini rising once said to me, "We're all just stumbling around in the darkness, waiting for a light to show up in the distance. Then we head toward that light for a while, wait patiently for the next one, and then we head towards that. Our job is to stay open and free enough to see the lights when they appear and start moving. Tonight, smack dab in the darkest season of the year, we're going to create our own lights in the distance." One of the most influential moments of my life came just after moving to Salem, Massachusetts 13 years ago. One Sunday morning, I stumbled across a postcard on postsecret.com that read, "Failure has freed me." Made from decoupaged graduate school rejection letters. The message resonated strongly as the year before I had been rejected from every single graduate program that I had applied for. This was perhaps one of the biggest, if not the biggest, so-called failures of my life. I didn't think I would ever recover. My ego was shattered. Lucky for me, the universe had other plans, as she so often does. Had I not been rejected from every single one of the 7 Russian and Soviet history programs I had applied to, I would never have eventually been accepted to every single one of the women and gender studies programs that I applied to the following year. I picked the queerest, most radical program I could, moved to Salem, got my master's degree, and opened the House Witch shop a few years later. The rest is history. This was obviously a much more aligned path, but I had no way of seeing that at the time. I was still in the dark about my real destiny. How could I have known that I would eventually open a business that would fulfill me creatively, financially, and spiritually, when all I was trying for was a gig teaching Russian history anywhere I could find a job? It was a crucial reminder that we are always in co-creation with the universe. And that means we will only ever get to know one part of the plan at a time. Gemini. How can we shift our internal frameworks around so-called failure to create positive changes in our external world? Can we transmute the idea of failure altogether? Perhaps we can understand that sometimes failing within the context of the white supremacist capitalist patriarchy could actually be thriving. As queer academic Jack Halberstam points out, under certain circumstances, failing, losing, forgetting, unmaking, undoing, unbecoming, not knowing, may in fact offer more creative, more cooperative, more surprising ways of being in the world. Perhaps it's just about finding more comfort in the void, in the not knowing, why some plans work out and some don't. Or perhaps it's about turning our failures into fireworks. From failure to fireworks spell. Okay. By bringing our failures out into the bright light of the full moon, we're going to create space for the miracle of what's next. We're turning a dark night of the soul into a celebration of success. You may want to prepare by pulling a few tarot cards if it is helpful for you. The layout for this spread would be a vertical line straight up with card 1 on the bottom and 3 at the top. 1. What are your current fears about failure? If you'd like, you may want to pull up to 3 cards for more detail. Card 2. What action can you take to address or release this fear? 3. What fireworks are waiting around to be found in your failure? What glimmers of joy, hope, or transformation can be found in the fertile ground of failure right now? 4. Optional. The 4th card, I like to use an oracle card to represent one of the next lights to look out for as you navigate the void. Remember to remain open. These lights don't always appear how we imagine they would. Start with clearing an object that represents a failure to you by placing it in the moonlight. On a windowsill is totally fine, for an hour or so while you think of a way to repurpose it. Can you use a memento from an old relationship as part of a love spell? Can you donate those jeans that represent diet culture to an organization in need, or resew them into something else entirely, or something more irreverent even? Can you turn that rejection letter into a paper airplane to call in the healing energy of amusement? Oh. Take some deep breaths and ground yourself. Imagine a cord running from your tailbone down into the center of the earth. Stay here until you can feel yourself being supported from below. Next, imagine a cord going from the crown of your head into the cosmos and connecting the full moon. Stay here until you feel yourself being supported from above. The balancing of the coins, the opposites, the Gemini. Yes. Visualize your object or some of the representation of what you are transforming, moving upwards through the air just beyond the full moon in the sky, and then exploding into the most beautiful firework you've ever seen. Maybe it's bigger and brighter and more colorful than any of the fireworks you've ever seen in real life. Maybe it bursts over and over and over again in different shapes every time. Have as much fun as you can as you illuminate the night sky in your mind. Once the show is over, notice that the firework embers have fallen to the earth in the form of a trillion tiny, glittery sparks. Now collect some of the sparks, but let their meaning be a mystery. Come out of meditation when you're ready and move around a bit to keep some energy flowing. Maybe have a mini dance party to your favorite song. Over the next few days, do your best to stay open enough to receive supportive messages from the universe, spirit, goddess, etc. Maybe they will come in your dreams, in the mailbox, or during a hangout sesh with a close friend. In the meantime, just try to trust in the void. Illumination is just around the corner. And baby, you're a firework. Okay. This is fun for me because I'm a Gemini sun and a Sagittarius rising. Something in me is being tickled. Okay, about the author. Erica Feldman is the founder of House Witch. She holds a master's degree in gender and cultural studies with a research concentration in witches. Her innate interest in the connection between home spaces and wellness led to the creation of House Witch in 2012. In 2019, her book, House Magic, Transform Your Home with Witchcraft, was published. A Gemini sun, Pisces moon, and Scorpio rising. That sounds difficult. Erica lives with her wife and 2 cats in the heart of Witch City. I guess it would go together. The Gemini, I'm sure they're doing fine. Okay. Failure to fireworks. To be determined.